Fight Fiend Forecast. I'm Joseph, the host of the Fight Fiend Forecast, formerly the UFC Forecast. We decided to change our names just to be safe in the future. We don't want Dana White coming after us because we have the UFC logo in our logo and the UFC name in our name. So the Fight Fiend Forecast fits the name pretty good for what we're doing here. We're a bunch of fight fiends and we're always betting on fights. But we bet on all sports too. So we're going to have another tier on Patreon. So if you want to join Patreon and get early exclusive access to all of our picks, bets, cheat sheets for the UFC, it's only $5 a month. But we're going to have a tier soon opening up for the all sports, probably MLB, NFL, NHL. Like I just had a really big bet on Lamar Jackson. That hit. That was double your money. And on the same night, I also had Justin Jefferson for a touchdown with Travis Kelce. But Kelce couldn't get the TD. So another bet I had Kelce under 70 yards. And then I had another guy, Christian McCaffrey. I had him over 89 rushing yards. So that was a really good double bet, even though the other double bet with Justin Jefferson there and Travis Kelce didn't hit. I had another bet out there that hit with Travis Kelce on it, because I didn't think he would get over the 70 yards, receiving yards. So I do have some pretty good NFL bets, but the NHL is my forte, and I can't wait for this season to get started. So that's why I'm going to have a all-sports Patreon tier. I'm not sure what the price is going to be set at yet, or when it's going to be out and released. So keep an eye out for that if you're into all different sports. But I know everybody's here for UFC Vegas 80, the predictions and bets. So let's get right down to business. We're missing the co-host Loaf, though. He slept in today. Can't rely on that guy, so it is what it is. I don't think I'm going to post his picks because he's on a lot of underdogs, and last week he had a rough week. And if he can't make it to the show, I'm not going to post his picks, so it is what it is. You gotta wake up, Loaf. You gotta get out of bed, man. You're not going to fix your problems just sleeping in bed. Like, you gotta get up, and you gotta do something better with your life. And I'm giving him an opportunity to come here and build a good channel with the forecast. A bunch of you guys love seeing Loaf, so I know you're going to comment below and ask where he is and wish him the best, but, can't rely on him. He has stuff going on, and he has to deal with it, so is what it is. And one more thing before we get going. I know I'm rambling on here, but nobody entered the MLB postseason bracket challenge. I was going to give away Patreon free for the rest of the year. So I'm going to do a new giveaway. Comment to win on this video. That's simple. All what you got to do is comment below on this video to win. But you have to comment 3 outcomes. And they all have to be correct. And you have to use hashtag UFC Forecast. The winner's going to get Platinum Access on Discord only for the rest of the year. So Platinum Access is basically the Patreon access. You get access to the cheat sheets, the bets, the picks, everything early access as well. So comment below 3 outcomes that you think are going to hit on this card, UFC Vegas 80. If they're correct, you're the winner. If we have multiple winners, I'll make all yous Platinum members on Discord. Let's get it going here, and we're going to start it off with the prelims. First fight of the night, it's a women's fight, Montella De La Rosa and JJ Aldrich, and this fight is priced close, so I'm kind of tempted to put some money on it. If you guys like one side, if you think one girl's definitely going to win, I know it's really tough to pick women's fights, but, in the past, I've been pretty good, not going to lie. And maybe you guys have too, so I know there's good value in either side here. But JJ Aldrich is stepping in short notice. That's not great. She is high output at times, but at times she's low output. And I think she's going to struggle a bit on the ground here. Like, she got taken down against Na Liang. She did get the knockout there, but it wasn't an impressive performance. Na Liang got finished 6 out of 7 of her losses there. JJ Aldrich has 0 submission wins, and Montella De La Rosa has 8. So you just know she's going to be a lot better on the ground. Montella De La Rosa fought Tatiana Suarez, survived till round 2. She didn't look too bad. Her other submission loss comes to Mackenzie Dern in 2016. 5 decision losses for Montella De La Rosa, Macy Berber, Vivian Araujo, and Andrea Lee. So, pretty good competition in my opinion. If you look at the side of JJ Aldrich, she has decision losses to Vanessa Demopoulos, Courtney Casey, and then she has those are her wins, by a decision. Not that impressive. Her losses come to Ariana Lipsky and Sabina Mazo, and that's how I see this one playing out. Like, if those girls can win by a decision, I think Montella De La Rosa is going to pace her way to a decision as well. JJ Aldrich was only knocked out to Macy Barber, who we seen recently get a knockout against our girl friggin' Amanda Ribas. So Macy Barber has power. That's not a bad loss. Her submission loss comes to Erin Blanchfield. So I don't think she's going to get finished. She's lost to some pretty high-level girls by finish, but by a decision like Ariana Lipsky, Sabina Mazo, I feel like this is definitely one Montella De La Rosa can win. If you disagree, like Loaf did, take the plus money. JJ Aldrich, she's short notice. It's a women's fight. You never know. And next up, we got Mateus Mendonca and Nate Maness. And Nate Maness was formerly my dog of the week, or lock of the week, against Tagir Ulanbekov. I'm pretty sure it was the dog. And you guys know the dog of the weeks or fate of the weeks. So Nate Maness obviously lost that fight. Guillotine round 1. Or guillotine. I said guillotine. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Mateus Mendonca, he has a lot of submission wins. 4 submissions. Kimura, arm lock, triangle. He can mix it up. They're all in round 1 too. So if he can't get it in round 1, he probably just wins a unanimous decision here. Nate Maness, though, he has good experience. He lost a unanimous decision to Umar Nurmagomedov. He also has that loss to Ulanbekov, so he's not afraid to fight these Russians. He also has a knockout loss to Taylor Lapalus in the 3rd round. That was outside of the UFC. He formerly fought at 135 bantamweight, but, you know, he's been pretty low output. He has power, though, at 135. He hasn't really done much at 125 because he's only fought once, and, you know, it looked like a tough weight cut, and then he just, you know, in the first round just got choked out to Ulanbekov, so I don't know what to expect here. I know 144 is a sketchy price tag because that was Ali Talib's price tag for PFL a couple weeks ago. I think those 144s are bad luck. I think Mendonca could be a spoiler, but I'm going to pick him to win here. He is dangerous, very dangerous in the first round, but he's like a 3-1 favorite almost. Like, I just see him being the quicker fighter, higher IQ, relentless, 8 years younger as well. He just lost to Javid Bashrap by a decision. Training at Shootbox, Diego Lima, tough and durable. Like, there's a lot of reasons to back this guy, but I don't really want to get caught parlaying him because there is a chance Nate Maness comes in here and gets this win. He has very good experience. Like, that loss to Umar Nurmagomedov, to be honest with you, he just got ragdolled in that one. So, unanimous decision. Mateus Mendonca is going to be my official prediction. Let's just hope Nate Maness doesn't catch Mateus Mendonca's chin here. And next up, we got another women's fight, and this girl is a huge favorite, especially for being away for 2 years. Kanako Murata. Her last loss was an arm injury to Verna Jandaroba. Not a bad loss. This girl also has a loss in Ryzen 2016 by submission. So, you know, not bad losses. They're aging pretty well. In 2016, she had 2 knockout wins. I don't feel like she's going to get a knockout here. The ring rust is definitely going to be live, but she should be good enough to win a decision. She beat girls like Emily Ducat 5 rounds. That was in Invicta outside the UFC. She might have some ability on the ground here. She has a shoulder choke and anaconda submission. And Vanessa Demopoulos, I do see some people taking her by a submission. She has a nice armbar. Very nice armbar. That could be live. She submitted Gomez Guaraz, and that is aging very nicely. She also has a decision win to Maria Oliveira and another one to Jin Yun Frey. So, you know, not too bad of wins. You know, this is a tough one. The underdog is definitely live, in my opinion, because of the ring rust and Murata being out for 2 years. Don't know what to expect, but she should be the better fighter here. I'm not going to touch it, though. Not going to touch it because the armbar is lethal on Demopoulos. I think it could be worth a sprinkle, I guess. Like, geez, that was a nice armbar against Gomez Guaraz. But other than that, she's losing a lot by a decision. JJ Aldrich, Lupi Godinez, and Corey McKenna. Pretty good level of competition, though. And Karolina, that was a sketchy scorecard because I remember Bruce Buffer was looking at the scorecard and they changed it or something like that. Yeah, that was sketchy when they read that scorecard off. I know Demopoulos lost, but maybe some people thought she won that one against Karolina, who's also on this card. We're going to talk about her soon. This is a sketchy one, and the price tag is sketchy. It feels like a trap. Like, I'm just sitting here. This is a tough one to friggin' predict. I don't like too much about Murata. Like, she's been gone for 2 years. She hasn't really fought any girls other than Emily Ducat outside the UFC. That was a long time ago. She should be more aggressive and more accurate, but I can't really rely on it, and I don't think it's safe to parlay, so I advise you guys not to parlay it. If anything, take the single bet on Demopoulos by his submission. I see some people taking that. It could be live, but, you know, I'm not really recommending that either. Actually, best thing to do here would probably be over 1.5. It's a women's fight. I think that would be safe. Just do that. And next up, we got a bantamweight bout between Johnny Munoz Jr. and Aoriqileng. And this is a close one. It's a freaking coin flip. So do what you want here. I advise you guys not to touch it. Aoriqileng only knocked out Cameron Else, who's 10-5. So if you think Qulang's coming in here and getting that knockout, like, I'd be a little bit cautious with that. His wins are very low level. 2-3 in the UFC. Lost to Jeff Molina, who got cut already, I'm pretty sure. Knocked out Zahabi in his last one. He looked terrible in that fight. He has 6 strikes a minute, but he's 50% accuracy and a 50% defense. His nickname's the Mongolian Murderer. I'd like to see him live up to that name, but, like, that win against Cameron Ellis, that's the only thing we've seen from him. And I'm not going to pick him to win here in this coin flip. I actually like the other side here, Johnny Munoz Jr. I know he's going to pull guard potentially, and if he does, that's not good, because the judges don't like that, and the judges don't like you sniffing crotch, so he better not be sniffing crotch either. But this guy's a BJJ black belt, 7 submission wins. I think he could get the submission here. Qulang does not have much to offer on the ground. He has the sole submission win. He is not live for the submission. He has holes on the ground. I think the sub's live. But he has a big unanimous decision win against Ludovic Shalinian. That was a very good win. Shalinian's 9-2. I can see the same thing going down here. It's going to be a decision or a submission for Johnny Munoz Jr. Loaf was talking about locking this guy in, but, like, just the fact that he pulls guard and he could be sniffing crotch. Very, very inaccurate striker too, 38%. His striking defense is pretty good at 59%. I think he's going to win this fight, but he's low volume. I don't want him to sniff crotch here either. Yeah, this is a sketchy one because Johnny Munoz Jr. was also knocked out to Tony Gravely in round 1. Qulang does have a little bit of power, but Cameron Ellis, you know, if that's the only guy you can knock out, you're losing to everybody else, and you just got knocked out in your last one. I'm not siding with you. I'm not even taking that knockout prop, to be honest. And next up, we got the prelim headliner, and this fight is so exciting in the women's strawweight division between Karolina Kowalkiewicz and Diana Belbita. And damn, Belbita is good looking. She is fine. She is absolutely fine. But the only problem is she's fighting a girl that's 10 years older, and normally that's a problem, but it's not. It's not. She has a lot of experience. And the judges, or whatever, love her because you seen the scorecard with, what's her name, Vanessa Demopoulos. That one got changed, and Karolina has lost to some pretty high-level competition. Alexa Grasso, Yan Shannon, Michelle Watterson, all by decision. She got knocked out to Andrade round 1 back in the day. Also a really bad submission loss to Juliana Pena. Not Juliana Pena, Jessica Pena. So yeah, Jessica Pena, that's why it's bad. Like, not good. Not good. So, little sketchy, but Diana Belbita, like, she is 10 years younger, like I said. She's going to have good cardio. She's going to have a 4-inch reach advantage as well. She's going to be a much taller fighter. I think she definitely could be live here. Like, definitely could be live here. Karolina is, like, in my opinion, a little bit slowing down, but you can't really count her off yet. She has tons of experience. She looked pretty decent in her last one. She's a decision dominator, so if you're betting Karolina, just add her by a decision in your parlays because she's not going to get the finish here. There's no way. Her only knockout win was her first pro fight. Like, she is a decision dominator, and that's how she's going to win, by a decision. Diana Belbita, if you like that side, I see it going decision too. So go over 1.5 or go over 2.5 on this one. This one's going the distance. Even better to go to the judges' scorecards. That's a safe one because this is a close one. It's a women's fight. It can go either way. And with the scorecards getting changed last time with Karolina, that was a little sketchy, like I said. Just want to stay away from that. Better to go the distance. And if you haven't yet, make sure to smash that like button and suplex the subscribe button. I really appreciate that support. And I still have the UFC forecast logo here, but I'm going to change that up in the future. I'm in the middle of changing everything from the UFC forecast to the Fight Fiend forecast. And if you're looking to join our Patreon, it's still the UFC forecast right now. That has not been changed yet either. So only $5 a month, exclusive early access to all of our picks, bets, and cheat sheet. That's been out there for the last like 3 days. So this video is coming out on what, Wednesday? I'm only having one video this week, so it's been a crazy week. I only can do one video this week. I thought Loaf was going to be able to join me for this one. Unfortunately, he is not. So this is the full forecast this week. There's no post-weigh-in face-off show, so take all the information in here and stay tuned for the locks at the end of the video here, because I got one for you, and some of you might not like it. So let's get going with the main card. And on the main card, the lock is hidden within one of them. So here we go. We got the first one, Alexander Hernandez and Bill Algeo. And straight up, take this for what it is. This was Loaf's lock of the week. I didn't even post Loaf's lock. I did on Discord, if you've seen it, but I took her off because he didn't show up. But he was taking Bill Algeo, so I'll give that to you. He was taking Bill Algeo, lock of the week, 172. 172 is the lucky price tag this week. Take that for what it is. I think he's going to win as well. So that's, if you want me to back up Lowe's pick, I think Bill Algeo wins this. But originally I was on Alex Hernandez. So people in Patreon, they seen my picks. They might have seen it go from Hernandez to Algeo. And here's what it is. This is a friggin' close fight. And this is a banger fight. I feel like someone's getting finished. Alex Hernandez, he didn't do much against Jim Miller. He looked very good. He won that unanimous decision, but he couldn't find the finish. He couldn't knock him out. And he almost got submitted in the third round. And that's what I was betting on. I was betting on Jim Miller to get that submission, and he nearly got her. And Bill Algeo, I feel like, man, this guy has some tricks, and he could definitely get that submission, especially if he gets the fight to the ground quicker, because Jim Miller was just standing and banging with Hernandez. So if Algeo's smart, and I know he's smart, he has a super high IQ, he's going to take this fight to the ground and submit him, man. If not, he's going to knock him out. So the finish is definitely live for Algeo, and at 172, I think money line's great. So I'm looking to do something with Algeo this week for sure. And like I said, I was originally on Hernandez, but I switched over, so I was going to make Hernandez my dog of the week. And then I was going to make a post with the fade of the week, because I did that with the Dana White Contender Series for Pacheco, and it actually worked. The fade of the week was perfect. He was a good dog, but he lost by a decision, still got the contract. Some people took the fade and made some money. So this is one. I was going to make a fade of the week, dog of the week post for Hernandez, so Algeo would be the play. And he is Loaf's lock this week. I think it hits, man. Even though Loaf's locks last week were very bad, he had Andre Fiallo and Dan Argueta. I think he's going to bounce back here, and I think the 172s are very good. 4 years of experience for Bill Algeo. I think he's going to get this one done here. Hernandez is like hit or miss, man. He had that knockout win against Beneil Dariush, and he also has a huge decision win to the Canadian gangster Olivier Aubin Mercer. So, I mean, like, he has some good wins, but he has, you know, looking at his losses, he lost to Thiago Moises by a decision. Jamal Emmers, split decision. That was his third pro fight, though. And then he got submitted to Money Moyakano as well. So, I feel like if Money Moyakano can get the submission, maybe Algeo can, too, have some success on the ground. I think he can. I really think he can. Maybe I will be betting submission for Bill Algeo. But you know what? Now that I'm looking at it, maybe I won't bet the submission. I think the knockout could even be live. Algeo has a higher strike accuracy. He has a good strike defense. He's going to be high output and high IQ. Hernandez has 3 knockout losses. We're going to mention them. Billy Quarantillo, Drew Dober, Donald Cerrone, all in round 2 as well. I think that round 2 finish for Bill Algeo's live. If it's not the submission, it's going to be that knockout. I can honestly envision either of them happening, so inside the distance, Bill Algeo seems like a pretty good bet this weekend. And next up, we got another light heavyweight fight between Phillipe Lins, 210, and Ion Cutelaba, 172. So yeah, lock of the week, a locker in, Ion Cutelaba. He's getting another knockout here in round 1. I think Phillipe Lins, man, I'm not impressed. And he is a BJJ black belt, but he doesn't seem to use it very often. And his decision wins in the UFC, Maxim Grishin, Merson, Prachnio, not impressive whatsoever. This guy's sloppy, man. Like, I'm watching this fight, and I'm like, I'm not tuned in to this guy. I don't like him. He has 4 knockout losses, 1 to Tanner Boser. And Tanner Boser got knocked out clean in round 1 to Ion Cutelaba. So that was a big indication that Cutelaba is a dog. Everybody knows he's a dog. And now he's a favorite. He was, I think, an underdog starting out at the start of the week. I missed that line movement, but I'm taking the 172. I'm pretty confident he's going to win this fight. And unfortunately, someone that I respect very highly has quite a bit of money on Phillipe Lins. And it's a bit of a head scratcher because I don't know why he thinks Phillipe Lins is going to win. I haven't really watched his video or anything like that yet. I just seen it on social media. But man, like, I really think Cutelaba's getting him. Round 1 KO. He knocked out Khalil Roundtree as well. A lot of people love Khalil Roundtree, so Cutelaba could knock him out. He's super aggressive, fast. He's relentless. He averages almost 5 takedowns at 60%. So that black belt ain't going to come in handy. I don't think he's going to do anything to Cutelaba on the ground. He's way too aggressive, and he's just going to ground and pound him out. Round 1. No shame in any of Cutelaba's losses, man. He has 3 knockout losses, 2 to Megamed Ankalaev, and his other was to Kennedy Nzechukwu. And then his submission losses come to Ryan Spann, Glover Teixeira, and Johnny Walker. So all very high-level competition. Phillipe Lins would get slaughtered as well to all those guys. Phillipe Lins' only knockout win was to OSP in round 1, and that was OSP's like last fight inside the UFC, man. I do not like the Phillipe Lins side. I think he should be a bigger underdog, and there's tons of value on Cutelaba. And I can't wait to see what the knockout prop is and what the round 1 prop is. He has 2 submissions, so I don't really think you need to play it by finish. I think this is just right to the teller with the knockout prop. Let's get it. And next up, just stay at the teller and bet Drew Dober by KO against Ricky Glenn, because Ricky Glenn's last fight against Christos Giagos, he looked slow motion and he got knocked out quick, man. And I can see the same thing happening. Drew Dober has a lot of experience. He went 3 rounds with Islam Makhachev. And he also went 2 rounds with Beneil Dariush. And he also lost to Olivier Aubin-Mercer in the 2nd round. Pretty high-level guys. Just lost to Frevola in round 1. And I had Frevola for Dog of the Week. So that's one of the dogs that hit. And I think I'm pretty well calling Drew Dober's fights at 100% right now. So that's incredible. Let's go. I think he's definitely going to get the knockout. There's not much more to talk about. He loves to brawl. High pressure. He is durable too, so no shame in that last loss to Matt Frevola. Do not say this guy's chin's fading. This guy's chin is not fading. If Ricky Glenn gets the KO here, bash me in the comments. Bash me. Unsubscribe. Drew Dober's getting this KO. Stay at the teller. Bet it. And you could even bet like Cutelaba KO with Drew Dober KO. Maybe you could add on some guys we're about to talk in the next 2. I think Joe Pyfer is going to get the KO. Buckley could get the KO. Let's keep it going here. I don't want to talk about Ricky Glenn at all. Because, yeah, I had him as lock of the week last fight. I really took him as lock of the week last fight. And, yeah, he was slow motion and got knocked out to Giagos. So, I just think the same thing's going to happen. He's 4-4-1 in the UFC. And Drew Dober's 12-8. This guy's been around the block. He's been here since 2013. UFC's giving him a winnable matchup. Probably a bonus for Drew Dober. And next up, like I said, I think Joaquin Buckley could get the KO here. If you got the balls, you can bet him by KO with Cutelaba and Dober. And maybe Pyfer on the next one. Mr. Pyfer Fish. But here's the thing. Alex Morono, the Great White. This guy's legit. We have to stop underrating this guy because he won 5 of his last 6. He's looked very good. Knocked out Donald Cerrone in 2021. That was near the end of Donald Cerrone's career. He also has some big decision wins, though. Matt Semelsberger, Mickey Gall, David Zawada, Reese McKee, Max Griffin. Like, those are some good wins by a decision. So, I'm going to give you another pick from Loaf. He was taking Alex Morono by a decision, but I just don't see it, man. I see Buckley moving down to 170, being ripped, man, and he hits hard. He just knocked out Andre Fiallo by head kick. That was phenomenal. And obviously Fiallo's still fighting hard, man. He's no easy put out, but he kind of is because he gets finished like almost every single loss. So tough go for Andre Fiallo, but the guy has hands. But like I said, don't count out Alex Morono either because this guy has hands as well. Pretty impressive. And I made some money on him as an underdog. He's looked good against Tim Means in his last one as well by a submission, so I'm kind of worried that he might use his grappling here, might try to get the submission. I know Buckley has wrestled in the past and looked to take the fight to the ground, but I don't see him doing that in this one. I think he's going to keep it standing. It's going to look like a Chris Curtis fight. They're just going to stand there and bang. Buckley has shown great ability in his grappling, though. Like, good timing on his takedowns, very good control, never submitted, so maybe he doesn't even get submitted. Like, maybe he could get the takedowns and just dominate and ragdoll Alex Morono here. I just see him winning this fight very clearly. I see it being the knockout, though. I think he's going to be a little bit too powerful. And Morono, that knockout loss to Ponzinibbio, not great. That was in round 3. I know he was looking good, but like he just finds a way to lose. Got knocked out to Chaos Williams, another guy that looks just like Joaquin Buckley. Absolutely yoked, hits hard. It could be a round 1 KO, just like the Chaos Williams fight, honestly. So, like, Alex Morono, he is a good dog, but I don't know if we can trust his chin. And if you want to say Buckley doesn't have a good chin because he got knocked out to Chris Curtis, to Chirico, Kevin Holland, you know, maybe he gets knocked out. So, this is a very close fight, but I'm going to go with Buckley until the wheels fall off here. He's the younger fighter, he's yoked, hits super hard, and one thing I didn't mention yet, he has a 4-inch reach advantage. That's going to play in his favor, and I definitely think this matchup's in his favor. I think the UFC wants him to win. I think they think very highly of him, and the move to 170, I think it's going to be friggin' good. And next up, we got a 4-1 favorite, Joe Pyfer against Abdul Razak Alhassan, and this is honestly one that I was like, is this an underdog spot? Like, Joe Pyfer is obviously the people's pick of the week. Everybody loves Joe Pyfer. Obviously, the UFC wants him to win here. And they're giving him a guy that's 38. But little does the UFC know, this 38-year-old has serious power. And he's planning on ruining the party. He wants the knockout. So I am tempted to take Abdul Razak Alhassan by KO. Not as the pick. Just as like a little safety bet on the side, because Joe Pyfer, he has been finished before. This guy is not untouchable. He lost his Dana White Contender Series fight by elbow injury to Dustin Stolfus. So Stolfus should definitely not be beating you by any kind of injury whatsoever. You should not get injured against Dustin Stolfus. And his other loss was by a submission to a guy that's 5-3, now 7-6. In 2019, that was in the second round. So like, this guy definitely is not untouchable. Joe Pyfer is not untouchable. And the price tag is super wide. I honestly thought it would be a little bit closer, but obviously, like, he's the people's pick. Everyone's going to take Pyfer. And do not get surprised if Razak Alhassan lands a big shot here, because I wouldn't be surprised, because I actually thought about it. But I'm going to ride with the people. I'm riding with the guy that's 11 years younger as well. He's a lot taller. He has a reach advantage. He's training super hard. Like, there's a lot of things playing in his favor here. I feel like he's going to get her done. He looked very good in his last fight, and I tried to fade him. Straight up. I tried to fade him against Gerard Mershit, and I thought Mershit would submit him. Didn't happen. He just knocked him out. His hands looked sharp, clean. He was quick, high IQ, and unless Abdul Razak Alhassan lands that big knockout shot, because he has heavy hands, it's going to be a Joe Pyfer fight all day. He's going to be better on the ground as well. He's a pretty decent grappler. Abdul Razak Alhassan has 11 round 1 KOs, and he has 12 KOs out of his 12 wins. Serious power. If he wins, it's going to be a KO. Just like that roughy guy on the Dana White Contender Series, man. He's a dangerous fighter. He's dangerous all 3 rounds. He's a hunter. Throws heavy. But, 38, the gas tank is fading. I think Joe Pyfer will take over in the second, third round and get the job done, I hope. Because I feel like I might parlay it or something. I definitely will have it in a parlay, but top ticket, not quite sure yet. Probably not. Probably shouldn't. Probably stay away. Because Joe Pyfer, I know, like, his 2 losses are by finish. I've tried to fade him in the past. I wanted to fade him here. A lot of people think he's the real deal. I'm trying to tell you guys that usually when the people are high on someone, they lose. Like Izzy. But we'll go with Pyfer and not look back. And next up, we got the main event, Grant Dawson and Bobby Green. This is a banger fight, and this is the ultimate test for Grant Dawson. I think he's going to pass with flying colors against Bobby Green. Bobby Green did get the round 3 submission against Tony Ferguson, and he looked very good. But this guy, he's an entertainer, hands down, good boxing. And finally, we've seen a submission, but, if he tries to take this fight to the ground, tries to implement his wrestling, it's going to be a rear naked choke for Grant Dawson. He only has 1 loss, and it was a long time ago. This guy is just destroying his opposition, and I think he's going to just make Bobby Green look like he's maybe not at his level. Grant Dawson has been improving at an extremely high rate. He's at American Top Team with a bunch of high-level guys, super high-level cardio. He's a back taker. And yeah, he submitted a wrestler in Marco Madsen. He also submitted Jared Gordon. 12 minutes of control in his last fight against Demir Ismagulov. Couldn't find the submission, but damn, he was close. And I feel like, yeah, he's going to want to impress when he's in the main event spot here, finally. Against a named guy, Bobby Green. I think with Dawson not losing in 7 years and being 8 years younger than Bobby Green, he's going to have the swagger. And he's likely going to get the back take and get the submission win here. So I'm going Grant Dawson. I'm playing it by submission. And hopefully we get that plus money because I want to go heavy on that one. And if you haven't yet, make sure to smash the like button and suplex the subscribe button. I really appreciate that support. And if you haven't yet as well, pause the video and comment below. Give me 3 outcomes. If they're correct, you get Patreon access for free till the end of the year on Discord only. So if you have Discord, this is a great opportunity to get access to our Platinum membership for absolutely free on Discord. All you got to do, comment below your 3 outcomes, your 3 favorite ones. So you could go Cutelaba KO, Dober KO, Buckley KO. Those are 3 I gave out, or Pyfer KO. Take 3 of them by KO, comment them below. If all 3 of them are correct, you get Patreon free till the end of the year. If we have a bunch of winners with 3 outcomes correct and they have Discord, send me a DM. You're all getting Platinum access, exclusive and early access to all of our bets, picks, and cheat sheets on Discord. It's a great giveaway because nobody liked the MLB postseason bracket challenge. And if you follow me on socials, you'll see that I had some MLB bets, some NFL bets. So we're going to open up a Patreon tier for all sports very soon. So stay tuned for that. And now it's time for the lock of the week. Everybody's favorite part of the show, the locks of the week. Because some of you might have skipped the predictions, some of the fights you weren't interested about. So here they are, lock of the week. They're both 172. I'm even giving out Los Lock even though he wasn't able to make the show. You already know if you listen though, they're both 172. And the first one is mine. It's Ion Cutelaba. I think he's going to get it done by knockout if you want to take the knockout prop. It's going to be round 1 too because this guy, he is a finisher in round 1. 14 out of 15 finishes in the first round. Cutelaba knocked out guys like Khalil Roundtree and Tanner Boser. And Tanner Boser knocked out Phillipe Lins in the first round. So I feel like my lock of the week is going to cash in round 1, KO, and Alias are going to make some money. Maybe not Alias, because I know some people I respect very highly are on Phillipe Lins, and I am hoping they hit that cash out button. And next up, we got Los Lock of the Week, Bill Algeo. And a lot of people are on Bill Algeo this week. He's 172, rightfully so. I think he is the rightful favorite here. I'm surprised he's not more of a favorite because Hernandez is hit and miss, but he's powerful, has some combos. I think Los Lock, though, should succeed this week because last week he had Dan Argueta and Andre Fiallo. You got to think with Love having over 70% on Lock of the Week this year in 2023, he's going to bounce back after losing too. No doubt about it. So Bill Algeo, Ion Cutelaba, take them both, take the plus money, and let's get her done. And thanks everybody for watching the Fight Fiend forecast this week. Hopefully you like the name change. And there's going to be no final prediction show this week. Just a single show, so hopefully everybody enjoyed it. And we're going to be back next week for another fight night. Sodik Youssef, Edson Barboza. Should be another good one. And we'll see you then.